Have you ever wondered what happens when the richest family in the kingdom decides to play the Game of Thrones? Well, you get chaos, betrayal, and a whole lot of gold-plated problems. Today, we're diving deep into the saga of House Lannister, the family that proved money can't buy you everything, especially not a happy ending. So, who are the Lannisters? Their official words are "Hear me roar." But let's be real, their unofficial motto is "A Lannister always pays his debts," and they mean it, whether it's with gold or with a sword in your back. For centuries, they ruled the Westerlands from their seat at Casterly Rock, a fortress literally sitting on a mountain of gold. They were the poster family for wealth and power. For a long time, things were pretty good. They had the cash, the influence, and a reputation you didn't want to mess with. Everything changed with one man, Tywin Lannister. This guy was the patriarch of all patriarchs. Cold, calculating, and utterly ruthless. When he was a young man, some rival houses, the Rains and the Tarbecks, decided to rebel against the Lannisters. Big mistake. Tywin didn't just defeat them. He annihilated them. He wiped their entire families off the map and even wrote a catchy song about it, The Reigns of Castamere, just to make sure nobody ever forgot what happens when you cross him. This single act of brutality cemented his reputation and the fear associated with the Lannister name for a generation. Tywin was all about legacy. He wanted the Lannister dynasty to rule for 1,000 years. To do that, he needed his children to be perfect extensions of his will. And that's where the cracks started to show. Let's talk about the kids. First, we have the Golden Twins, Cersei and Jaime. From the outside, they were perfect. Cersei, beautiful and ambitious. Jaime, the most skilled swordsman in the Seven Kingdoms. Tywin married Cersei off to the king, Robert Baratheon, putting a Lannister on the throne as queen. A brilliant political move, right? Well, not exactly. The problem was Cersei and Robert hated each other. And a bigger problem? Cersei and Jaime were ... a little too close. Their secret love affair produced 3 children, Joffrey, Myrcella, and Tommen, all passed off as Robert's heirs. This one's secret is the ticking time bomb that eventually blows up the entire kingdom. Then there's Tyrion, the youngest son, born a dwarf. Tywin despised him from the day he was born, blaming him for the death of his beloved wife, Joanna, who died during childbirth. Despite being incredibly intelligent and cunning, possibly the most like Tywin of all his children, Tyrion was constantly mocked, belittled, and underestimated, especially by his own father and sister. He was the black sheep, the family disappointment, the one they wished would just disappear. This constant rejection fueled a lifetime of resentment and rebellion in Tyrion, pushing him down a path that would have massive consequences for his family. So, the stage is set. The Lannisters are at the peak of their power. The queen is a Lannister. The Hand of the King, Jon Arryn, dies under mysterious circumstances, and King Robert rides north to ask his old friend, Ned Stark, to take the job. This is the moment everything starts to unravel. Ned Stark is an honorable man in a snake pit, and he quickly starts uncovering the truth about the queen's children. The Lannisters' first move to protect their secret is to push a 10-year-old Bran Stark out of a window because he saw something he shouldn't have. This act, committed by Jaime, sets off a chain reaction. Catelyn Stark captures Tyrion, believing he was responsible for the attempt on her son's life. In response, Tywin Lannister unleashes his armies on the Riverlands, Catelyn's home. And just like that, the War of the Five Kings begins. All because the Lannisters couldn't keep their secrets in the family. When King Robert dies in a convenient hunting accident arranged by Cersei, their son Joffrey takes the throne. And Joffrey is a monster. Arrogant, cruel, and stupid, his first act as king. He executes Ned Stark, a move that guarantees a full-blown war with the North. Even Tywin, the master strategist, knew this was a colossal blunder. The Lannisters now find themselves fighting a war on multiple fronts, all while trying to control a psychotic teenage king. Tywin marches to King's Landing, takes over as Hand of the King, and for a while, it seems like he might actually pull it off. He's a brilliant commander and politician. He masterminds the alliance with House Tyrell and wins the Battle of the Black Water, saving the city from Stannis Baratheon. He even orchestrates the Red Wedding, a horrifying event where he conspires with the Freys and Boltons to murder Robb Stark and his key followers, effectively ending the Northern Rebellion. From a purely tactical standpoint, it was a genius move morally. It was monstrous, and it earned the Lannisters the hatred of pretty much everyone north of the Neck. But Tywin's obsession with control was also his weakness, especially when it came to his own children. He constantly undermined Tyrion, even after Tyrion saved King's Landing. He tried to force Jaime to leave the Kingsguard and become his heir, which Jaime refused. And he planned to marry Cersei off to Loras Tyrell, something she absolutely did not want. He treated his children like pawns on his personal chessboard, ignoring their desires and their humanity. And then came the big one. Joffrey is poisoned at his own wedding feast. In her grief and paranoia, Cersei immediately accuses Tyrion. She never missed an opportunity to hurt her little brother. This leads to the most famous trial in Westerosi history. The trial is a sham from the start. Cersei bribes witnesses, and Tywin, as the judge, lets it all happen. He sees an opportunity to finally get rid of the son he's always hated. This is the breaking point for Tyrion. After a lifetime of abuse, he finally snaps. He demands a trial by combat, and when his champion loses, he's sentenced to death. But Jaime, in a rare moment of conscience, helps him escape. Before fleeing the city, Tyrion makes a detour. He finds his father, Tywin Lannister, in the most undignified of places, the Privy. And there, with a crossbow, Tyrion ends the life of the most powerful man in Westeros. The great Lord Tywin, mastermind of wars and dynasties, killed by the son he so despised. The irony is just staggering. With Tywin gone, the Lannister powerhouse completely falls apart. Cersei takes control, and let us just say her leadership style is less strategic genius and more burn it all down. She's paranoid, impulsive, and surrounded by sycophants. She empowers a religious fanatic, the High Sparrow, thinking she can control him to get rid of her rivals, the Tyrells. This backfires spectacularly. The High Sparrow turns on her, arresting her for her own sins and forcing her to endure a humiliating walk of shame through the streets of King's Landing. Cersei's response, she goes full scorched earth. When her trial is about to happen, instead of showing up, she blows up the entire Sept of Baelor with wildfire, killing the High Sparrow, the Tyrells, and hundreds of others. It's a horrifying display of power, but it comes at a terrible cost. Her last remaining child, King Tommen, horrified by what she's done, takes his own life. Prophecy fulfilled, all of Cersei's children are gone. She finally has the Iron Throne she always wanted, but she's sitting on it alone, surrounded by ashes and enemies. Meanwhile, Jaime's journey is one of slow, painful redemption. After losing his hand and being humbled, he starts to see the world and his sister differently. He sees the monster she's become. Their relationship, the very foundation of the Lannister crisis, finally fractures. In the end, what happened to House Lannister? Their gold mines ran dry years ago. They were living on credit and reputation. Tywin's death exposed the rot at the core. Tyrion, the rejected son, ended up as hand to a new queen, Daenerys Targaryen, fighting against his own family. Jaime abandoned Cersei to fight the army of the dead. And Cersei, Queen of the Seven Kingdoms, found herself trapped in her castle as Daenerys' armies and dragon arrived at her gates. She and Jaime die together, not in a blaze of glory, but crushed by the rubble of their own fortress as it collapses around them. A truly tragic and fitting end for the twins who started it all. The story of House Lannister is a perfect cautionary tale. They had all the money and power anyone could dream of, but their pride, cruelty, and internal dysfunction were their undoing. Their refusal to pay their emotional debts, their inability to love or trust each other, led to their ruin. In the end, their legacy wasn't a 1,000-year dynasty, but a trail of destruction that left the entire continent scarred. They roared, and the whole world heard them, but then there was only silence. What do you think? Were the Lannisters the ultimate villains, or just a tragic, messed up family? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more deep dives into your favorite stories.